I am Liz Walsh from County Council District 1 Vice Chair. I believe our Chair, Deb Young, is also going to be testifying tonight. I thank you for this opportunity. And I will tell you that I would love the luxury of showing up at this hearing tonight and advocating just for my D1 schools and those D1 kids that seem to keep getting shortchanged in this annual exercise. Of this county's almost 13 high schools, District 1 has one high school outside the bounds of the entire District 1. This year, we send D1 kids to more than half of this county's now 12 high schools. And yes, if you're wondering, we're still real sore about where and how High School 13 was cited. Sorer still that High School 14 has vanished entirely from this latest version, long-range plan. Turf Valley used to be Elementary School 43. Maybe it's 44 now, maybe not. Gone too, over my 2 long years on this council, is any planned addition at Ellicott Mills Middle in the next 10 years. And even those projects that do remain, now only Dunlogan Middle and Centennial High, have moved back 3 years each to 2027 and 2031. D1 is going in the wrong direction, and we're going in the wrong direction fast. But it's not just D1 that's bursting at the seams anymore. We've redistricted ourselves to near system-wide capacity, countywide. Trailers crowd so many of our schools' basketball courts and their fields, and there's not so much more we can do at this point, at least not anything that I can see. We can't staff the schools we have in place. We can't maintain them like we should. We can't build the ones we already need or know we will, and we probably couldn't staff them anyhow if we did. This is my ask to you, Dr. Marano, Chair Ellis, esteemed members of this board. This cannot be political. This cannot be opaque. Each of us as public servants beholden to our student charges and their families who live here, we have to be honest about what we as a county can and should accomplish, and where and why, and what we cannot. The more expansive and expensive this neglected backlog of work becomes, the more justified every one of those neighborhoods will be when they call us, desperate for some relief, any relief. Our neighborhood and needs against theirs, but their relief should not be presented as one triumphant, exclusive entry on a ledger, at least for now. That just stops the calls from that neighborhood for a while. We need fair and open rules of priority. It's not state funding contributions anymore, is it? It wasn't last year. Is it just capacity? What capacity? When? Is it just equity? For whom and by what measure? Is it something else or more or less? What should it be? We need firm, longer-term commitments on annual spends and who's imposing them and why and how they might change over my 2 long years on this council. Annual projected investment in our schools' capital projects for fiscal years 24, 25, 26, and 27 have been nearly halved from $479 million to 270. We need good data, legitimate planning tools. We need trustworthiness. I've seen firsthand and quite recently how distorting project student yield inputs can be on recent council legislation, CR 89, 2019 for Dorsey Overlook. The same family living in the same phone, same home, same address in that proposed development. You go to Dunlogan last year, you have half as many middle schoolers in that neighborhood, according to Howard County Public Schools. Use an actual comparison point, like the council wrangled before we okayed a pilot agreement for Robinson Overlook. Now the school system's understating yields we're pushing into Wild Lake Middle School from that same development this year by double. That looks like we're playing with numbers. We must make better use of the resources we have, like reserving land as it's developed for public schools under County Code Section 16122. Or we need a better version of that section of our code. For my part, I will keep filing legislation that has the intended effect of ensuring we dedicate schools funding and the infrastructure necessary to meet our needs, or at least kind of meet our needs, or as you know, adequate. And I thank you, board members, for your support of those endeavors in the past. D1 pre-filed earlier today a bill to eliminate a school's outflow exemption that goes back almost 30 years. CB 56, and next week we'll file amendments to now pending resolution CR 110 to add more school-minded voices to the advisory committee that will guide our county administration's recommendation of how to best manage county land use for the next couple of decades. But I admit it's not enough. All of that is not enough. It's not close to enough. How many more years of this kind of action or inaction can we endure before we reach a total point of collapse, of failure? I feel like we're real close, and I want to know what else can we do differently? How can I help? How can we all help? I know the council is aimed, I hope, at the same target that you are, and I'm sure that we all together can get there. And I earnestly hope, at least in the next 2 years of my council term, we can work together to a better solution. I thank you for your time.